I think most teachers, or some teachers, they're hired, they look at most important is how they teach in classrooms about their subject and the content of their expertise. And they don't really value that they, as teacher, their presence is teaching in school. And so they view the advising is add-on to their duty as a teacher. And on top of that, in my old school, teacher evaluation is never touching upon advising, although every teacher is required to do advising. So if this is disconnected, of course, it is extra chore.
So we have a chance to not do that.
Yes,
right?
exactly.
I think the advisories would be more, I don't like the word impactful, if they weren't every day. If they're every day, preparing for them, making them significant, having the kids be there. If they're less frequent, then they could be more.
So it goes both ways, right? If it's a ritual, then it's always happening.
Right.
If it's a shorter period of time, it's less difficult to prepare for. If we were to go with the responsive classroom model for the lower school, that is every day. So that's how you start your day. So there's a consistency that kids would experience if they went through the school, right? I mean, obviously, the first year, nobody knows anything.
I think there's a real advantage. I've, in my time at day schools, seen a couple of different advisory systems, and I think especially for the younger grades, there's a real advantage to starting off the school with some ritual moment that is the same every day, because in fact, lots of kids have lots of anxiety about coming to school.
Yeah.
Even, you know, after they've been in school for a few years, it's just, it's a little frightening. And if there's that ritual that gives everybody,
Sure.
you know, a sense of safety.
It's very comforting.
In a routine, that can be comforting. When you get to older kids, I think you've got a lot more flexibility in terms of how often you do it. But the younger kids.
So, and I don't know about high
It doesn't
school.
have to be long.
I mean, maybe through the middle school and then high school could be different. Or, I don't know.
I think that I like the daily sort of check-in with a longer period, you know, of time once a week to do social emotional learning or something like that. I think there's a tremendous value to having someone who knows the students, see them at the beginning of the day. I mean, I think that's invaluable.
I think you point to some really important challenges to make advisory, to integrate it so that it doesn't feel like an add-on. And I think one way is to make sure that part of the purpose of advisory is to set goals and monitor progress in school, so that it is linked to the other things that we do, preparing for student-led conferencing, that, you know, through your advisory group kind of links it. And then I think generally the bargain that we strike with students is that we're going to hold you to a very high rigor of respectful behavior and citizenship during advisory. But in exchange for that, you're going to have a lot of input and you're going to have some serious fun. And so we're going to play games, but they're going to be done really well and respectfully, and then that's going to transfer outside. I know that when you get to high school, kids say, well, if I'm not getting credit for it, what's it to me? And so many high schools have started finding ways that they can offer some quarter credit or whatever for advisory so that there's some buy-in. And I can imagine that you'll have students coming here saying, what's in this non-academic thing for me? And that you'll have to figure out how to make it really authentically connected to the rest of the school day and from the beginning.
Except the first year when nobody knows each other, I think they'll actually cling to it.
Right. Yeah, right.
Even in the high school, I mean, I
Will
think
have
it
more
might be.
importance.
You know,
Well, that's
that
where
might be
service learning could come in too.
Absolutely, yeah.
But that might be a good thing to start, at least start even in the high school every day, just
Because nobody knows
to
anybody.
communicate actually how we behave. and
Anyway,
how we
it's just
talk to
ninth
each
grade.
Right.
Yeah.
And Tom, you mentioned you like beginning the day
Yeah.
that way. For the younger kids, you might also end the day with sort of a checkout and touching base. And, you know, it doesn't take a lot of time, but gives that adult connection to begin and end each day in a very reassuring way, and you can pick up on problems that develop during the day. I don't know that high school works as well with the end of the day, because the end of the day is scattered through the day.
It really helps them academically too, because those kids who just don't get organized,
Well,
the
and
teacher's right there.
That's where I think you
Advisor's
can
right
replace course credit with real value to the students, in that if the advisor is the student's advocate with their academic teachers, and probably the focal point of the reporting to parents, then the advisor can, in the best of circumstances, be seen as a really important ally to the students in negotiating through a complex situation. And that can work